Today I'm going to be showing you how to cook pork baby back ribs on the Monolith Kamado. We're going to do these hot and fast. It's going to take us about 3 hours. We're going to use rubs on there, we're going to use barbecue sauce, and I'm going to show you a few techniques to get these really, really good. So pork baby backs are one of my favourite things to cook. They're really easy to do, and the final result is absolutely amazing. There's two sort of main different ways of cooking these. There's the 3-2-1 method, and then there's the hot and fast method. The 3-2-1 method, which I've done before and had great results with, is where you cook it for 6 hours, 3 hours in the Kamado, then 2 hours wrapped back in the Kamado, and then you take the wrapping off and you cook it for that last hour. I've done those before and it's melt in the mouth. They're absolutely fantastic, but sometimes you don't always have 6 hours spare to cook your ribs. So what we're going to do today is the 3 hours this is going to take. We're going to be cooking it at 275 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to take 3 hours to do. And today is a test really to see if this compares to doing it for 6 hours. So is hot and fast as good as cooking it low and slow? So today we're going to find out. So super simple, you're not going to need a lot of things to cook these. We are going to be using, I'm using a Blues Hog rub, which I used on our last cook. We cooked pork belly burnt ends, and it was really, really nice. So I'm going to use that again, and I'm going to use the Angus and oink glazed and confused barbecue sauce, which I also really, really like. We're going to use some mustard, and that's going to be used as a binder. We're going to put that on first of all, and that's going to help our rubs stick to the ribs. And then we've got some apple cider vinegar that we're going to be using, and that's what we're going to put in sort of halfway through the cook. We're going to wrap our ribs, and that's just going to give it lots of moisture in there and lots of taste as well. So the first thing we're going to do is get the ribs ready and get the rub on there, and then we'll get them onto the Monolith and get them cooking. So the first thing you want to do when you've got the ribs is to turn them over so that the bone side is up. And what you may know or you may not know, but it's quite important, is that the ribs have a film along the back of them here, and it's really important to take that film off, because if you leave it on there it's going to be tough and chewy. So the best way to get rid of it is to use just a butter knife. If you try and slide underneath here, you'll see that film should start peeling off. And once you've got a little bit of it off, if you just get a bit of kitchen roll, I found this is the easiest way to do it. A little bit of kitchen roll, and that will allow you to grip it, and then you can then pull that film all the way off. There we go. So I'll be honest with you, that first one came off really nicely, really easily. The second one was a bit of a faff. So if you do get one and the membrane's hard to get off, just bear with it and just work your way through it and get it off. It's worth taking it off in the long run. Baby back ribs in the UK, I think you might struggle to find them in a supermarket. You're best off going down to your local butcher and getting them. We always use WEBSTERS in Winton, who are local to us. They're really, really good. The quality is always really, really good, and it's great to support local businesses as well. So go down to your local butchers and get all your meat from them. So as normal, we're going to be using the Monolith Kamado. So as I think I said before, that's set at 275 Fahrenheit. We're going to be using Binochotan charcoal like we always do, and I set that up earlier just to save time today. That's already up to heat now and it's ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our rubs on there. We'll get them on and we'll get it cooking. So all you have to do, and you should be pretty adept at this now, if you've been watching like our other videos, then you'll know what to do in terms of rubbing and getting the Monolith up to temperature. If you haven't, and you want to go back and watch this series from the beginning, I'll leave a link up there. So you can go back and watch from the beginning, and we teach you how to fire the Monolith up, how to get the settings correct on the vents and everything. So yeah, if you do want to see that, go back and do that. But now let's get the rub on here.
I don't want to stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you want to go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got announced.
So I completely forgot to put the mustard on, but I don't think it's going to matter. The mustard is just there as a binder, so all that does, you put it on and you lather it on, and it just helps the rub to stick to the ribs. But these ribs are really moist, and you can see that the rub is sticking to them really, really nicely, so I don't think it's going to matter. So let's chuck these on now, and we'll get this cook started.
Let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground.
There we go, ribs in the Monolith and cooking. So I'm going to set a timer now for about 2 hours, I think, maybe an hour and a half, and then we'll come back down and we'll check on them.
You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause
So it's now been an hour and a half that they've been cooking for. You can see they're looking really good. The bones are starting to stick out. The meat's starting to pull back on there. So we're going to get them out now. We're going to wrap them in some tin foil. So they're looking really, really nice. You can see the rub is forming this lovely little bark on there. They've got a really nice colour to them. You can see the bones are starting to stick out here. They're really coming along nicely. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to fold these up like this. And what I'd like to do before we wrap it is just add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and that would just help keep it really, really moist for this next part that we put in. So I'm just going to put some, not an awful lot, just on the side there, like that. And what I will actually do is I'll get this basting brush, and we'll just paint some on here as well, just to keep it nice and moist, and that will give us a really nice glaze at the end as well. So look at that. And do you know what the other thing, I think I might just put a little dollop of butter in there as well. Never hurts. We did this last week with our pork belly burnt ends, and it worked really, really nicely. So there we go. We got some apple cider vinegar, just a little bit, some butter, and the ribs. So and then we're going to wrap these really, really tight, and then we're going to chuck them back in. I've double wrapped this in tin foil, by the way, because this tin foil isn't particularly thick.
Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan.
There we go. That's both of them wrapped and ready to go back in. You can, if you want to, use like a spritzer. If you want to, you can put the apple cider vinegar in a spritzer and spray them. You can also spray them, you know, whilst they're in the Monolith as well. So we're going to put these back in. We're going to leave them for about another hour, and then we'll come back and check on them.
You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night.
So we're just over another hour into the cook. So we've done hour and a half to start with, just over an hour now. So 2.5, 2 3/4 hours in. Our ribs are wrapped in there. Let's take them out. We'll unfold it. We'll put some barbecue sauce in there, and then we'll put them back in for the final half an hour. Top tip, if you've got some oven gloves or something like that, it's probably worth using those rather than trying to use your fingers. That was quite hot. It did burn my fingers. But anyway, when I picked them up, I could feel they were quite soft then, which is a really, really good sign. Let's open these up and have a look, see what they look like. Oh, that's looking really nice. And the smell is so good. So hopefully you can get a good look at those. And what we're going to do is just create a little boat with the tin foil on both of these. Okay, there we go. The smell is lovely, looking really, really good. I'm going to be using today Angus and oink, glazed and confused. I used this before on some chicken wings, I think it was, and it was really, really nice. So I'm really keen to use this again and see how it turns out on the ribs.
Someday we will look back, and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us.
And there we go. So a top tip for you, buy some decent tin foil. Don't buy cheap stuff, which is like this, because it rips and it falls apart really, really easily. So these are looking amazing. And that barbecue sauce, I just tasted some of my fingers. It's so, so nice. So, and these, I don't know if you saw, but they're starting to pull apart already, which is a really, really good sign. So we've put the barbecue sauce on there now. Let's put them back in the Monolith for about another half an hour or so. Just let this barbecue sauce glaze over, and then we'll bring it out and we'll have a taste of them. So they look awesome and they smell awesome as well. You can see they've got this lovely sticky glaze. The barbecue sauce is really shining on that. And I don't know if you noticed, when I was taking them out of the tin foil, the bones were literally just falling off, which is really, really good sign. If you know, you know. I'm really excited about trying these. So I'm just going to open them up quickly, have a quick taste, and let you know how they are. So that is absolutely delicious. Such nice flavors and textures. The rub, the barbecue sauce, you can really taste both of those. I'd say the one difference, I guess, between when I cook them low and slow for 6 hours, these maybe have a little bit more bite to them. Even though the bone falls out, when you bite into it, you can still chew on the meat rather than it just like melting in your mouth. So I guess it depends which style you prefer, but this I would say is absolutely amazing. I think actually I prefer this hot and fast to the 3-2-1 method. So once again, there you go, another easy recipe for you to do. Nothing difficult about it. You don't need very many things to do it with, and a really, really good meal as well. So if you've enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. It really helps us out and it helps get these videos out there to other people on YouTube. Let them know about outdoor cooking and teach as many people as we can. Any of the bits in this video as well, I will leave links below. If there's something that you've seen that we've used and you want to know more about, I'll leave the links. You can follow those links. If you have any questions on any of these, please just leave a comment below or get in touch with us. We're always really, really happy to help. So thanks very much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.